I'm gonna sing. Not now. Yeah, they're on now.
Are we up?
Yes.
Okay, welcome to Town Board meeting Thursday, October 19th. Please rise and salute the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emergency exits are behind the town attorney and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Supervisor Perotti?
Here.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Here.
Gutierrez?
Here.
Blackman?
Here.
Rebellard?
Here.
I make a motion to open the public hearing for CDBG playground equipment application.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
Is there any public comment for the CDBG playground equipment application?
I do have a question. Who's preparing the application? It didn't say.
Katie?
Oh, okay, thank you. Good to know.
There's no public comment for the public hearing for CDBG playground equipment application. I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
Make a motion to return to regular meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
And now we are going to have a NYSERDA Energy Advisor presentation.
Can she hear us? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
The presentation is behind you on the
She's
screen.
waving, but I don't think she can hear you. Us.
Are you hearing us back through the system? Hello?
Hi, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
While they're fixing this, you got my invite for tomorrow morning, right?
No.
You accepted it.
Oh, for the AB?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
10 o'clock, I think it is. 10 o'clock.
You go somewhere else, I'll work on this.
Do you want me to join the Zoom from my phone and we can just hold it up to the mic?
Well, we're not hearing her.
Are you guys able to hear me at all?
Yeah,
she
we can
need-
hear her through my phone if I join. Does somebody
Patrick,
have
stop
her,
thinking
email
in
address?
advance. Stop thinking ahead. Stop
I would hope
thinking
that they do. Right here.
ahead.
Oh, it's in there? Look at that.
You get credit for that. Credit. I'm right down. Patrick.
While we're waiting for the presentation audio, is there any public comment?
Oh, Patrick.
No, generally.
On any topic?
Go ahead.
How many minutes for public comment? 5.
It's 5.
I will set my timer.
What do we don't really, nobody ever goes that long, so let's.
My name is Manawer Ahmed. I live at 289 Bog Hollow Road in Wassaic. I have comments that represent both myself and individuals that I've been meeting in the town of Amenia. I understand that public comment is comment. Questions will not be answered in this session, and a separate meeting will have to be scheduled to ask supervisors and councilpersons these questions. So the first question, you have time to prepare your answer. We have approximately $200,000 in ARPA funds. Those have been earmarked for pet projects in wastewater and affordable housing. Instead, could that money that we have be used for pressing issues on Water District and pressing issues on Highway Department? We know that we had 3 years to do the lead service line inventory. It is due October 2024. It takes time to do these projects, and it would be fiscally irresponsible and irresponsible to the folks who depend on the water in the Water District, slightly over 1,000 residents, to wait until the very last minute. So it would be better to use funds that we have to get something important done on time, and that's just one example, for an existing water district where we have a responsibility to maintain it correctly because many people depend on it. And then we can avoid federal fines and state fines that come with missing a deadline. So the overall message is take care of the things that we have, such as Water District and Highway Department. The needs have been named very, very clearly, instead of pursuing
and I live on Lake Amenia Road. And I would just like to talk a little bit today about the prepared statement, short statement about the proposed wastewater treatment plant, which is being proposed proximate to our residential area on Lake Amenia Road. First, I'm not against the wastewater treatment. And I would also sincerely like to thank the members of the Wastewater Committee, Jim Wright, Charlie Miller, for their prompt and thorough responses to my emails. Much appreciated. In that correspondence, it was acknowledged that, quote, you and your neighbors' concerns are valid and understandable, quote, and I appreciate that understanding. Specifically, given the proximity of the proposed plant to homes on Lake Amenia Road, there's a concern about the potential for odor and pathogens with adverse effects on health, the quality of the environment on our block, and property values. I will also note that the committee informed me that there is a potential for odor during periodic pumping of the system, and I do not believe as residents we should be subject to any odor at all, no matter how sporadically. So I would like to confirm for the record the steps that have been outlined to me, namely the Wastewater Committee will, 1, put together case studies of other communities with the same type of treatment plants. 2, once the case studies are complete, meet with the residents of Lake Amenia Road to review. And 3, arrange field trips for us to these other communities with the same type of treatment plants so that we can see for ourselves. And we appreciate this effort and this process very much. And given that the effort is being made, we are operating under the assumption that should this process and review uncover potential adverse effects on the Lake Amenia Road community, that a different site would need to be chosen. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adam Vecchio, and I'm Paul's neighbor. I'm a resident of Lake Amenia Road as well. And I do have concerns about the wastewater treatment plant being in a residential area where there's families. There will be odors, and there will be odorless toxins in the air that will cause health risks and environmental issues as well, since it's an environmental area. And I'm totally against it. I think it should be built somewhere in the proximity where there are no residential areas within a certain mile radius. I heard the dump is an area where you can build it and you do own the property and you don't have to spend any money, and there are gas pipes there. I had a biochemist tell me that because I did ask him in advance, and someone else. And I was told that supposedly the residents in that area do not want it in that area. So we don't want it in our area either. I live there, I have a family there. You'll have depreciation values in homes. We'll have health risks. We'll have to relocate. I think you will have a lot more issues concerning you when those problems happen, because people will not be happy and they will have to go to the town for certain reasons for those problems. So if you're really thinking about putting a wastewater treatment plant in, think about people and the environment, because Lake Amenia Road is there, and there is a lake there as well that it used to be, and it used to be very pretty. And this is what needs to be revitalized for the town. Make it a country town. Fishing, kayaking, four-wheeling, beaching. Families used to go there. You can get grants, you can get donations. You can take out the black sediment on the bottom of the lake and use that for farming. Farmlands will use it. The cattails, they'll buy it from you as well. My neighbor told me he's lived there many years, and like I said, he's a biochemist and he knows the area very well. So there are ways of revitalizing it. We're in 2023, not in 1950. And we can make it a country. Families would like to go there. Doggy park. Something for the families around this area that they can go to and enjoy, and make it look like this, like it used to look like. This would be a good additive to the community, not a wastewater treatment in a residential area. And then think, if you put a wastewater treatment in a residential area and near a lake that's revitalized, who will want to go with the odors and toxins in the air? And you're polluting the 10-mile river. It's an inlet to the 10-mile river as well. You're polluting the environment. No matter what you tell me, you cannot sugarcoat it. There will be toxins and there will be chemicals and things that you don't see that will pollute the 10-mile river as well, because it's an inlet. So that being said, I thank you for your time, for letting me talk. And, you know, this really, like Paul said, has to be addressed. And we're not happy campers on our block at all. And I won't have it in my neighborhood. When I know it's environmentally friendly, there's a lot of birds there and there's a lot of other things, and a lot of families used to come up here, and this was a thriving area, that lake area. That's something that needs to be done before you put in a wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment needs to put in the future, like she said, the water needs to be taken care of first. I think that's very important for the area, since you do have a good water record, as she stated. And I really think things need to be thought over before doing this wastewater treatment plant. You need to come out with a spec where you could put it in an area where it's safe for people and environment. Thank you.
Deirdre?
Good evening, Deirdre Houston, Dutchess County Legislator. So I came tonight, I saw you had the CDBG application in front of you, and I was very excited to see that for the playground. So I just came to remind you I'm a resource for you as you go through the grant application. If you need letters of reference or anything like that, I'm happy to be a resource and help out where I can. And I think it's great that you guys are applying for that grant. Hopefully, good luck comes to you. And I just wanted to remind residents of Amenia about the agriculture district that we're going through on the county level. You may or may not know that every 8 years, we do a reassessment of every parcel in the ag district. In the years past, the county has had, I believe, 5 ag districts. This year, we consolidated to 1 ag district, and it is the 8-year review. So we held our public hearing at our meeting in early October. We got a lot of public comment about parcels that wanted to be included or excluded from the district, but we are still receiving comments and we're still accepting them, and we will not vote on this until our meeting in November. So if anybody has any concerns, questions about ag district and where they are, if they're in it, if they're out of it, please reach out to the county legislature and we will get you answers, and we will still accept public comment prior to our vote in November. Obviously, this area is very rich in ag, so it's important that we let all residents know that this is happening and aid them in any way we can. And I just want to know if there's anything you need from me.
I have a question. You're going to be reestablishing ag district lines, is that correct?
So not reestablishing ag district lines, we went from a multitude of ag districts. We didn't really see the sense and understand the development and why we had so many ag districts. So we went to 1, but we kept the lines, but it's all under 1 district. Like, for instance, Amenia was Ag District 21.
I see.
And now it's just all county parcels in the ag district are under 1 ag district.
Okay.
It was just a lot of paperwork for no benefit to the county residents or to the county.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I posted the notice that we got from the county about the agricultural districts. It's on our bulletin board.
Great. Thank you.
Sorry, Deirdre, do you know, there's a new ag district proposed in our town. Do you know if that's included? In
A new parcel?
No, a new ag district, the oblong.
It's a historic
It's a historic
district,
ag.
agricultural historical, which is different
It's
from an
different.
Yes, I saw that. I actually met with the Director of Planning about that. That's a state level. This is a county level.
Okay, great.
If that, I know that doesn't really answer the question, but it's different.
No, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment?
I have one.
Oh, when Pat's done.
It's an announcement, it's not.
Yeah, okay. After Pat.
I can wait till she's done. Anyway, Pat Nelligan, 35 Laval Road, the pond at the end, across from the pumps 2 and 2A for the water district.
4 and 4A.
What? No, 2 and 2A, by the way. And, but we'll talk about that after the election.
What difference is it? It's
And
either,
I'm
it's
a
either
member
one
of
or the other.
Well,
ahead.
they're originally 2 and 2A. If you check the application for the drilling of the second well that I bought, it was 2A. But you can call it whatever you want. It's just there. I'm also a member of the Water District Committee, and interesting comments tonight. First, they're just the lovely lady. It's inconsistent to want to have the federal program dictate to us that we should, not should, can, we don't have to, do an analysis of our water district lines when we have the second best water in the state and no lead issues. The majority of the water districts in the state are not doing the survey. The only thing to be gained from it is grant money. Well, grant money only works if you get it. And we have other things. We can work through the state of New York on grant money, not the federal government. And it was a boondoggle that came out of Washington and the Biden administration to, I guess, just do infrastructure. Let's just do it. Well, assessing every line in the country is absurd. If there are no issues, and again, we have the second best water in the state, we don't need to spend $500,000 or $250,000 or a dime on a survey. So that's an inconsistency, and that I would love to see us not to do it as a water committee member. There are other things we need to do for the water district, including, and in spite of all my frustrations with trying to get the board to kind of amend the way they proceeded with projects for the water district over this last period since I got on the committee. You're doing a survey now. Having someone come in and do a survey, that's a great move. And the next thing you need to do is whoever, and by the way, best of luck to all of you on the 7th. Whoever is on the board after this should seriously look at amending the contract we have with our water operator. I'm probably going to get into the area of slander if I keep going, but the amount of monies that have been dispersed to the water operator's business over the period of time he's been here, I would have thought you would have done a decent review before you renewed the contract at the end of last year, but you didn't. But you do need to evaluate the contract and what's been going on over the last several years under the old contract. We have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the district. And if somebody wants to say I'm a liar, I'll talk to them about it. We need to reassess who operates the water district. That's just a suggestion from the Secretary of the Water District Committee. So between the two of those, that's about the most I want to say tonight, except good luck. And change isn't always good. How's that? Change isn't always good. How's that?
Is there any other public comment?
I just have a small one.
Go ahead.
For everyone that's watching. Someone called my office today and spoke with my staff that they were setting a public comment in. Just want to remind everybody, my email here at the town hall is townclerk@ameniany.gov. You can also send it to DM Kligner, and that's DM for Dawn Marie, and it's KLINGNER @ameniany.gov. Or please visit our website at ameniany.gov. Go to the government section, and our staff and town clerk's office is right there. You can just click it and be able to get me your comments. So please, I always do welcome them. So I'm sorry to the individual who has asked that I read their comments, but I didn't receive it, and it's not in my junk email. So I'm acknowledging that because I know she's watching.
Is there any other public comment?
I would just like to ask Ian a question in this section, just sort of in response to one of the last comments. So the guidance that we've gotten from council as well as our operator indicate that this is not the compliance with the federal lead service line replacement program is not an optional step. Do you have any?
So my reading of the law and my understanding of the law is that it's not optional. It is a requirement that we have to comply with. What I haven't seen, and I don't know if there's any clear indication on or what the penalties are for non-compliance. So that's about all I have on it at this point.
So I'd encourage folks at home, if you want to learn more about it, and specifically the way that New York State has implemented it, at health.ny.gov, if you search for lead service line, the Department of Health has an FAQ that gives a bunch of information about the program, and also state programs that have been implemented in response to this federal legislation and grant availability, and it's a good resource for understanding that.
Sian, is there any other public comment? How are we doing, Mike, with our presentation?
She's here enough fine, but we're not getting her back in the room right now, and I can't really get this because I can't hear, and I'm overfeeding the system if I try to hear her, so I can't solve this while it's...
Do you want to add me to the...
Why doesn't she just call into this phone, and we put her on speaker, and we microphone it up, and we're done. I think that's the simplest thing. Does anybody know the extension to this? I mean, she could just call in.
Go ahead, Pat.
Damien, I find it interesting that the person that contacted you that told you it was required is the person who wants to get $250,000 out of the project, our water operator. It is not required, and I would bet my patootie on it. And after the election, we'll be meeting again in the week of the election, and I will bring in verified information from the federal website. The state can't require it. Only the federal can, because they control the money. And the only way that they can require it is to offer you money. It is not required because they're not offering you money, they're offering you grants. And it says clearly,
Call it. You, do you know what the extension is here for Town Hall? I think.
clearly on the federal site, it is not required. It states it emphatically. This is not required.
Extension
It's part of their
112.
thing. So anyway, we need to look into that after the election.
Yeah, Pat, we're happy to, I mean, if you want to send us.
I'll bring it on the 9th.
You know, the water operator aside, like, we consult with council.
Not aside.
No, I'm just saying.
He's the one who put the bid in, and you didn't submit for any other bids from anybody else. You want to go through that?
We didn't accept a bid.
Yes.
We didn't.
Let's talk about it after the election.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll be getting relaxed and get ready to get out of here in January, so there'll be less pressure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. There'll be nobody here to answer it. Oh, does it say it on there? Does it
But
say
that's okay.
extension
112.
Yeah, okay, then it should work. Low tech.
I mean, we can keep,
What?
we can keep going.
It should work, she just has to call in.
Oh, okay.
I think that's all. Put it on speaker and we're done.
Did she get the memo?
We can sign it.
We can move the speaker on. There it is, the button, speakerphone, when she calls in, I just heard it. And then I think the volume is those up buttons.
Yes, they are right here.
Be able to go home?
Yes.
So, Dawn Marie explained that we could
Do you want to do like the first one so they don't have to sit and wait?
get the paid employees report done while we're waiting for the...
Mike?
I'm just trying to be,
Mike, has she been asked to call in?
oh, there you go.
Look at that.
I don't want anybody to waste their time. Not too close, only one.
Feedback.
That's not going to work. Okay.
But if they turn off the audio there, then it will be fine. If he turns, there, that sounds better.
Are you able to hear her now?
She says hi.
Test.
Can you guys hear me?
We can, amazingly.
Hi, okay. Sorry for all that.
Sure, it's not your fault.
Okay, can you guys hear me present, see my screen?
We can see your screen, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, hi everyone, I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties, and thank you for being patient tonight. My name is Faith Dano. I'm going to make my presentation pretty quick. I don't want to keep you too late, but I want to thank Stacy, Mike, and Nancy for helping me set this up tonight, and I hope you enjoy the information I have to share with you. So I am part of the Mid-Hudson Energy Choices Regional Clean Energy Hub, and I work for Cornell Cooperative Extension in Millbrook. We work with residents to help them transition from traditional fossil fuels to electric, or also make their home more energy efficient. So we're here to help you as a resource, and we offer free advising. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about why this would be a good resource for you and why you may want to get in touch with us. Okay, so if there's anything from this presentation that you take, please take down my email or my phone number. You can contact me directly. I give free energy advising across Dutchess County for residents. so feel free, I'm going to put the slide up at the end of the presentation again, so feel free to jot this down if you would like. All right. Okay, so the presentation is going to break up into 5 different sections. First, we're going to talk about how our current energy system may be hurting us. Then we're going to be talking about funding some of the solutions for those issues. And then we're going to talk about some steps toward a cleaner and greener home. And then how we can help at the Regional Clean Energy Hub at Cornell Cooperative Extension. So here we go. We're going to start with why our current energy system is not necessarily keeping up with the times. So you may have been experiencing some increases in utility rates. Oil is pretty expensive at the moment. Electric rates are also increasing. We're also facing some issues with aging housing stock. The homes in the Hudson Valley, a lot of them were built before 1979. 1979 was when most of the energy codes were put into place for newer homes that were built at the time to be energy efficient, and any home before that, it was not built to that code. So a lot of those homes are lacking in insulation and air sealing and weatherization. And then lastly, we have a outdated grid and electric and gas distribution system. We have a lot of storms going on due to climate change, which is causing a lot more issues within that system. And we're going to have to be paying for a lot of damage, repairs, as climate change does increase the frequency of storms. Are you still able to hear me?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So all of this hurts our wallets, as I'm sure some of you are feeling the effects of this right now with your utility bills. This here is just to show you that New York State spends a lot of money on space heating. So some people, heating our house in general, whatever you're using, we spend a lot of money on. But and especially if you're using electric space heaters, that's something that's very expensive. So we're trying to address a lot of the heating issues in the Hudson Valley at Cornell Cooperative Extension. These traditional ways of heating the home using traditional fossil fuels can also impact your health. A lot of systems are not maintained properly. They're not adequately ventilated. That can lead to exposure to indoor pollutants or toxic gas such as carbon monoxide. There's also issues with indoor moisture and mold if your home is not properly sealed, insulated, and ventilated. There are also issues with pests due to moisture issues and not being properly sealed. And all of this kind of contributes to our mental health. So we may be feeling stressed because of these issues in our home. We might be stressed because of high bills. We might be stressed because we have a traditional heating system that might be a fossil fuel system that's contributing to respiratory issues in the home. So there are a number of reasons why we want to work on transitioning away from these old systems, and then also weatherizing and properly maintaining the energy efficiency of our building envelopes. So there are ways to fund these projects in your home. If you're looking to do an energy efficiency project, upgrade to your home, or an electrification of your home, there are ways to access these things with funds that are available right now, and I'm here to help you do that. There is something on everyone's bill called the Systems Benefits Charge. This is everyone in New York State. If you pay a utility bill, you'll see this on there. And this funds programs offered by New York State to help residents increase the energy efficiency of their home and eventually transition off of fossil fuels if they wish. So you're already paying into a lot of these funds and benefits that are offered. It's just getting the word out and getting a way for everyone to access those funds, because it's a little bit tricky. And working with an energy advisor like myself or another person at Cornell Cooperative Extension and our team can help you do that. There are 3 steps in general to doing this that we recommend. Again, we are third party and a nonprofit, so we're basing this information off of education and research that we're doing. So the first step to making a cleaner and greener home would be to increase the energy efficiency of your home. The next step would be to transition to renewable heat. And then third, lastly, you can also consider going solar if that's something that you're interested in, and there's many different options available for that. So for each one of these 3 steps, there are programs available through the state and federal programs that are allowing people to access this with more financial capability. So there's a program called Empower Plus, which can help with energy efficiency in the home for low and middle income families or residents. And then there's also another program called Comfort Home through New York State, which is for market rate or higher threshold income levels. That this is a rebate program for insulation and air sealing in the home. There's also, for heat pumps, there's something called New York State Clean Heat, which are rebates that are along with the utility company. New York State and the utility company work together on these rebates. So if you want to go to get a heat pump or a heat pump water heater, you can access the rebates through a New York Clean Heat contractor. Then there's also New York Sun, which is if you want to go solar, you get $1 per watt rebate on that system. And then there's also something called Community Solar, which can help you access solar energy, clean energy to your home, even without putting solar panels on your home. This is different from an ESCO, which is a separate company that charges rates that kind of fluctuate. So I'd be a little bit careful going with an ESCO, but community solar is something that's more regulated within the state, and it typically offers at least 5 to 10% savings of your overall bill for the whole year. So it's a way to get a little bit of savings and then also access clean energy if you're unable to put solar on your home. Okay. Another thing that's available right now as far as incentives and financing available right now, there's something called the Inflation Reduction Act, which is through the federal government. This is just passed in 2022. And this will give each state money from the federal government in the form of rebates and tax credits to be offered to residents to do energy efficiency upgrades in their home, go electric in their home, and then also for electric vehicles. So this has many opportunities for all income levels. Right now, there are tax credits available, and then in 2024, anticipated late 2023, early 2024, there'll be rebates available for these upgrades as well. So there's not only are there state rebates and available funding opportunities, but now there's going to also be federal opportunities coming up. These are some of the things that you can get tax credits on. You can do energy efficiency upgrades, so the air sealing and insulation, electric vehicles, heat pump water heaters, biomass stoves, so like pellet stoves, wood stoves, solar and battery storage. And the rebates that may be coming up, or that will be coming up in late 2023, early 2024, include electric and induction stoves, heat pump water heaters, heat pump clothes dryers, electric wiring and panel upgrades, and energy efficiency upgrades. Okay, I'm going to just briefly go over this slide real quick. I don't want to bore you with this, but as part of the Regional Clean Energy Hub, I'm an energy advisor, but there are other people that work in our energy hub that is contracted through New York State to help make this historic transition from fossil fuels to electrification. There are different groups within this hub, and some of them work on energy advising like me. Some of them do workforce development, so they help people transition into jobs that are in the clean energy sector. and help contractors get involved in clean energy and help train new people who want to get involved in jobs in different sectors. So those are the two big initiatives that the Energy Hub is offering. Energy advising, which is offered through me, which would be to homeowners, renters, small businesses, nonprofits, and we can advise people on how to access these state incentives, how to make this transition, what are the steps, you know, a third party recommending source of information. So that's me. And then we also do a bunch of other things right here on this page. I won't read it off. Okay. This is some of our other partnering organizations. So Sustainable Westchester is an organization that we work with, as well as New Yorkers for Clean Power. New Yorkers for Clean Power has a location in Kingston, and they help people access clean energy jobs. They help with training of young people, or even it could be any age, who wants to get involved in clean energy workforce. And then we also have partnering organizations. So there's a Cornell Cooperative Extension in Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Ulster, and Sullivan counties, as well as Dutchess, and each one of those have an energy advisor. So if you know anyone who lives in those counties, they also have an energy advisor that can work one-on-one with them for free for advising. And I'm going to skip over this, and I'm going to go straight to my contact information again. So just to reiterate, my name is Faith Lodano. I'm the energy advisor working in Dutchess County. My email is sll28@cornell.edu. And my number is 845-677-8223, extension 126. So I'm here for free advising to help you navigate this transition if it's something that you're interested in. I work on one-on-one with people. I also do outreach for different events. If you're hosting an event, or you know an event in your community is coming up, I can come and I can table at it and give residents information about these programs that are available and incentives and how to do this transition if they wish. So I want to thank you for having me tonight. Sorry again for the technical difficulties, but I really appreciate you listening, and contact me and reach out to me if you have any questions, or you want to pick my brain, or you want information to do this transition yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Faith, I fear that a lot of the folks at home may not have been able to hear you, and so maybe if you have time in the upcoming months.
I think
It was clear on the television?
Crystal clear, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, I take it back then. So unfortunately, if anybody in the room has questions, maybe we can reach out, but I'm glad it was heard on TV. The grant and the funding availability for these initiatives is really great, and folks should take advantage of it if they can.
Well, we can.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And if anyone doesn't matter where you tell me wrong, I'm here as a resource.
Well, we're going to put all this information on our website, so it's available to anyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Everyone have a good night. I will be in contact with you guys, and we'll stay in touch.
All right, thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Okay, supervisors report. Highway garage and salt shed. Engineer is making a change to remove columns and concept design requested by highway superintendent, and will present proposal with the change next week. Supervisor is discussing 1% loan for distressed communities, town of Amenia eligibility with USDA rural development. CDBG Route 44 sidewalk grant. Project construction contract is being reviewed by the town attorney. As soon as signed by supervisor, engineer will set up a pre-construction meeting with Dutchess County Planning and the contractor. Amenia Water District. Re-levy for the Water District is on November 3rd, 2023, so all Water District customer bills need to be paid up to date by November 2nd, 2023, so that unpaid balances are not put on their tax bill. 2024 budget. We're reviewing the preliminary budget lines in order to see where changes need to be made. The public hearing for the 2024 preliminary budget and local law to override the 2% tax cap, excuse me, are both on November 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Excuse me. Hazardous weather and other notifications. In order for people to be made aware of.
So there's some exciting news with the weather coming. Sometimes we know that we do have hazardous weather, and we need to get those notifications. So in order for people to be made aware of the hazardous weather conditions and other emergency situations, Dutchess County has created a free app for cell phones called Ready Dutchess. Once the app is installed, you will be notified of any impending conditions. The app will let you know when there is a message, in addition to having other helpful information that will follow. I'll keep going. Okay, so as you all know, because you are watching us here on Channel 22, and we have our Amenia website. The administrators for the website are Annette Culligan at extension 105 and Nancy Nowak at extension 108. They'll be able to assist you with adding items to the website as requested by organizations, committees, and boards. The events by organizations, churches, and schools can also be advertised on our local Channel 22, which you are watching here tonight. That information can be sent directly over to Mike at ameniatv@ameniany.gov. And Amenia Town Hall does have, for COVID-19, we are still offering, masks are available here, and they are optional, and there are some available right at the front doors as you walk in. If you are looking for COVID vaccine informations, and for those that are unable to get out, please feel free to dial 845-486-2555, and someone will be able to assist you with that. And they are available locally here at Amenia Drugs by calling area code 845-373-8000, our CVS pharmacies. As we all know, this time of year, with the weather's changing and COVID cases are currently increasing locally in our surrounding areas, please, we like to remind you to take all necessary precautions, washing your hands and being safe.
Thank you.
I'll lead right into the town clerk report as you
right on.
enjoy your.
Yep, town clerk report. As my Ricola is doing its job.
So good evening, everyone. For the town clerk's report, I am reporting that the total state, county, and local revenues in the office for this month of September was $846.20. I am sharing for our abstract for this month and the vouchers that have been reviewed by our board members. The general fund A totals $142,050.51. Highway fund, $76,426.08. Amenia lighting, $1,005.45. Wasake lighting, $376.76. And Amenia water, $6,625.35. So this evening, I'm seeking authorization for the supervisor to pay claims in the total amount of $226,484.15.
I so move the payment of said payments.
Second.
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revler?
Yes.
And also this evening, you guys had the opportunity to meet with a candidate who has expressed an interest in being on the wastewater.
Make a
Committee?
motion to accept
Damian.
or appoint Walter Dietrich to the wastewater committee.
Thank you.
A second?
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revler?
Yes.
Also in our packets this evening, I'm acknowledging receipt and circulation of our balance sheets, operating statements, as well as our highway report from Megan, dated this date, that she shares with us that she's getting the trucks ready for winter. Currently, they're working on grading the dirt roads. With all the heavy rain, the roads have had no major issues. I'm working with Metro North to hopefully get the replacement light pole in Wassay placed by the end of next week. Also, I'm gonna keep going, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Thought, light went on. Our building inspector has shared with us the monthly report, also for September, showing that they have done 4 municipal searches, 4 fire inspections, issued 28 building permits for a total of the Department of Income, $8,359.37. He does indicate that there were 2 violations that occurred during the month of September. SCBI Environmental Services has shared with us the monthly report, which does go out and itemize the number of gallons pumped and the average water pumped and distributed. He does itemize out the water line mark out digs, the emergency response repairs, any other work that they've done, and does put special notes on there. And Katie is present in the room, so I'm going to assume she'll do her report. And that'll conclude the town clerk's report. And supervisor's report. Katie.
You're up.
Rec report. I just read them all. I do all of them.
Very fast, because I'm ready. So I just want to thank everyone for helping with the grant that is due tomorrow. Just after, if the resolution is passed tonight, I'll be able to submit everything tomorrow by 4 p.m. and get that grant in. Trunk or treat is Sunday, October 29th at Beekman Park from 1:30 to 2. We're still looking for a lot more cars to sign up and participate and have a trunk there. So if you know anybody that's interested, please let me know. Our basketball clinic that we're holding in November is completely full. We have about 30 kids signed up. We originally started with 25, but then I kind of snuck a few more people in there to make it 30. So that will be Saturdays here at the town hall and the gym. And just some park updates. So we're starting to prep to close down for the season. The fountain was closed off and everything today. We did that this afternoon. And then Beekman Park will start closing down at the beginning of November.
Great, thank you.
Questions? Good? Okay.
Are there any other board or committee reports?
I have a report for the CAC, Conservation Advisory Council, and the Climate Smart Task Force. They met last night. Sadly, we set off the alarm, but I think it was a good experience to maybe I would recommend that we have volunteers and staff review the process for when you accidentally set off the alarm, how to completely reset it so that the nobody has to be deployed unnecessarily.
There's instructions on it.
In the little employee room?
No, right on the alarm, there's instructions on who to
It's the
call.
green card that I put there when we moved here.
Oh, okay, very good. So I wasn't here when that went off, but that green card wasn't obvious, so maybe we want to recommend that volunteers who are accessing the building get reminded that that's available. Repair Cafe, we had 51 items repaired on last Saturday, the 14th, and there was good PR for that, which helped us increase the number of items from 20 for our first one to 50 items. We found there were many items that are very popular. Everybody needs knives, sharpens, and everybody has clothes that need to be hemmed or repaired. So we're going to beef up on that next time, and we're considering jewelry repairs, some other items, and we would love your feedback. We're looking at Earth Day time frame of 2024 for a second one, for our third one. Climate Smart updates, part of the process of offering Repair Cafe and this program that we heard about tonight about energy efficiencies helps us earn grants that will help us install Climate Smart initiatives here at Town Hall. We did, while the Repair Cafe was going on Saturday, we met with Francis Perotti, who is looking at heat pumps, which are going to be grant-funded from these kind of actions that the Climate Smart Task Force has been busy clicking off on their list and then earning grants. So we have money towards purchasing heat pumps, and so we looked at both the gym and the auditorium, which are sadly underutilized because they don't have any air conditioning in there. So we're looking forward to that, but it can also serve as an energy-efficient alternative to using our oil-fired furnaces in certain cases. So I was very pleased to hear some really good information. We're going to follow up on that with, again, grant funds from previous action items that the Climate Smart Committee took. We're going to meet, have a site visit scheduled for L&S Energy Services to come and do an audit of the improvements that have been done already here at Town Hall, and what they'll also estimate what are the next best steps for reducing our emissions and being more energy efficient here. So we're very excited about those items. We also finished our greenhouse gas emissions report, and that is on the website, and you can read about that there. It's about 30 pages. It's a rather alarming that we find, like Millerton and I think Rhinebeck, that the biggest by far greenhouse gas emissions from the town is from our landfill. And it's kind of frustrating because there's not a lot that I can understand that is really a way of stopping or ameliorating that without huge costs. So greenhouse gas emissions, one of the, I guess it's methane that is being emitted from the landfill, and that is a very serious greenhouse gas. We're also talked about the Comprehensive Plan Review Committee, which we got a Greenway grant for, and I'll be meeting at 9 a.m. by Zoom with the Pace University that's agreed to help with technical assistance for our volunteer committee to be making improvements and updating our comprehensive plan. I think that is it. Thank you.
Are there any other board or committee reports? No?
May I do the resolutions?
Sure. Resolution number?
101.
101.
Resolution number 101 of 2023, authorizing an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal year 2024. Whereas the town of Amenia is a participant in the Dutchess County Urban Consortium for the Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal year 2024, and whereas the town board held a public hearing on October 19th to obtain input pertaining to a possible Community Development Block Grant Program application, which requests a maximum amount of $125,000 for the replacement of playground equipment at Beekman Park. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the recitations set forth above and are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein, and be it further resolved that the town board hereby approves an application to the Community Development Block Grant for a maximum amount of $125,000 for the replacement of playground equipment at Beekman Park. Is there a motion?
Make that motion?
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelard?
Yes.
Deidre, do you have time to do a letter of support for that?
Absolutely, I'm happy to. Just email me the information and I'll get it right out.
If you could get together with Deidre, and you can submit that with the...
It's due tomorrow.
That's fine.
Could you start writing tonight?
Yeah, but Deidre's pretty quick at getting things done.
Before you start telling her to do it. It's fine.
Deidre kind of goes with the flow, right?
Sorry, guys. Should just write it right now. So 102.
Resolution number 102 of 2023, regarding adoption of preliminary budget for fiscal year 2024 and establishing a public hearing date. What's up? Keep going?
Yeah. Just pass it
Whereas
down.
the town supervisor has filed the 2024 tentative budget for the town of Amenia pursuant to Section 106 of the town law, and whereas the town clerk delivered the tentative budget to the town board in accordance with town law Section 106, and whereas town law Section 108 requires the town to hold a public hearing on a preliminary budget on or before the Thursday immediately following the general election in November, and whereas town law Section 109 requires the town board to adopt a final budget on or before November 20th, 2023, and whereas the town board has reviewed the tentative budget and has made changes thereto deemed reasonable and appropriate and intends to adopt the preliminary budget herewith. Now therefore be it resolved as follows: the recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. Pursuant to and in accordance with the provisions of Section 106 of the town law and other applicable provisions of the law, the annexed tentative budget is hereby approved and adopted as the preliminary budget for the town of Amenia for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024. The preliminary budget adopted herein shall be filed in the office of the town clerk in the town of Amenia, where it shall be available for public inspection Monday through Thursday between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. It can be downloaded from the town's website at www.ameniany.gov or available by email upon request to the town clerk, Dawn Marie Klingner, DMK, LINGNER at ameniany.gov. The town board of the town of Amenia shall meet at Town Hall located at 4988 Route 22, Amenia, New York on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. for a regular town board meeting for the purposes of conducting a public hearing on the preliminary budget. That the town clerk of the town of Amenia is hereby directed and authorized to publish the notice of public hearing in the format annexed hereto in the official newspaper of the town of Amenia at least 5 days prior to the scheduled public hearing, and the town clerk shall cause a copy of said notice to be posted on the official signboard of the town no later than 5 days before the scheduled public hearing, and I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Pass that down. That goes.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelard?
Yes.
Okay, the resolution for local law tax cap override, we don't have to do that because when we introduced the local law, it included the public hearing for November 2nd. The resolution to hire Waterworth for Water District Review is, we need to table because we don't currently have the funds in the Water District. So we'll move on to resolution for transfer of funds.
Resolution number 103 of 2023, transfer of funds for October 2023. Whereas the town board has the authority to transfer funds when necessary or unanticipated to amend the budget, and whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing expense line 72704.01 band concert CE summer music concerts by $1,154.31, and decreasing expense line 71454.01.030 intercommunity rec CE trips by $1,154.31 for DC Sheriff use at music concert. Whereas the budget amendment in the general fund increasing revenue line 3989.01 state aid and other home and community by $10,000 and increasing expense line 80204.01.104 planning climate smart by $10,000 for grants received from NYSERDA. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing revenue line 2260.01 public safety services by $510.30 and increasing expense line 31204.01 public safety comm service by $510.30 for DC Sheriff services. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing expense line 14104.01.078 town clerk training by $53.03 and decreasing expense line 14104.01.074 town clerk supplies by $53.00 for unanticipated cost. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing expense line 36204.01 safety inspection CE by $937.50 and decreasing expense line 36201.01 safety inspection PS by $937.50 for Z3 consultants voucher to cover building department and building inspector's absence. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing expense line 13104.01.040 Director of Finance CE by $99 and increasing expense line 54102.01.106 Sidewalks EQ by $557.50 and decreasing expense line 19004.01.049 special item CE contingencies by $656.50 for unanticipated expenses. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund increasing expense line 13554.01.119 assessor CE contracts by $58,767.28 and increasing appropriated fund balance by $58,767.28 to cover chargeback amount from Dutchess County. Whereas budget amendment in the water fund increasing expense line 83104.06 administration CE in the water fund by $2 for UDIGNY location services and increasing expense line 83404.06 transmission distribution CE by $2,000 and decreasing expense line 83202.06 source power pump EQ by $2,002 for unanticipated cost. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board authorizes the transfer of necessary budget lines to process the transactions. I'll make that motion.
A second.
Discussion?
Discussion.
I guess I should know the answer to this, but on the safety inspection, so we have hired Z3 consultants when we need to cover the building departments.
He was on vacation for a week.
So is that our, that's like a one-time thing for this particular one, but is that what we're doing going forward, is having the consultants step in when we have an absence? And we need the, and can't afford the time off? Yeah.
If he's going to be gone for a week, we need somebody to cover the department to do permits. I mean, and she, since it was a slow time during the department, she only actually came in for 2 days.
I see. So we use them as sporadic, as sparingly as we can to just cover the absolutely necessary time frame?
Right, because someone needed to be in the building department to sign permits.
Yeah, we used to have a deputy or a building inspector who would be working part-time in neighboring towns, but I guess that just, part-time, but that isn't really an option for us.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Supervisor Brody?
Yes.
Councilperson Stoyl?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelar?
Yes.
I'm not aware of any other matters. Does the board have any? No?
I have
Or town board comment?
one town board comment that I forgot to mention is that we are looking into an EV charger. We did get an $82,000 grant with the Climate Smart Task Force to put in an EV charging station down at the Mechanic Street Rail Trailhead, and we are working forward on that. I apologize for missing that on the report I gave earlier. Thank you.
And I just wanted to note that I sent some suggestions to the board about changes to the budget, mostly specifying what the engineering line is used for, since there's a number of things that we will need it for next year, and also the water fund to include the Waterworth, although I hope we can hire them before that, and the capital reserve fund for the engineering on that project.
So these are all in addition to what we've currently discussed in our budget?
The total is the same, but these are breaking up.
Just breaking it down?
Yeah, it's just breaking it down. And then the water stuff, it is, there wasn't a line for engineering, and there isn't someplace specific for Waterworth's consulting, which seems pretty important.
So this is within the budget, which is broken down?
No, the second one isn't. There was 25 in the budget for engineering, and so if this comes to 60, that would mean we need to increase it by 35,000 to move ahead with the water project.
Which, if the board agrees, we can do after the public hearing.
Okay.
Because we can make changes to the preliminary, and we will be adopting the final budget on November 16th.
Great.
And you're looking into additional, a specific line for the comprehensive plan updates, right? So that we can break it out of the Climate Smart Initiative line.
Yeah,
And
she
so you won't
actually-
need it out of the engineering line, so that is moot, I believe.
Well, I
And there
have
may be
the,
other
I have the
projects.
money for that in the Climate Smart line.
Right, but you were going to ask about
Yes, and
separating
she-
it out.
Yeah, she actually, I have to get with the bookkeeper to figure out which line, but it'll be under planning.
Yeah, we used
Near
to
the
have
Climate Smart.
planning, comprehensive plan, attorney, planning, comprehensive plan. There was a specific line in the past that is a great place to keep it separate.
Are there any other town board comments? No?
Too easy.
Well,
Enjoy it.
if that, if there are no other town board comments, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Supervisor Maroney?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Fablelaro?
Yes, ma'am.